My client makes $2 million a year. His English is terrible. And I mean terrible. Last week, he sent me an email. The whole email said, "Jake, make logo more big and more red. Send tomorrow." That's it. 7 words. No dear Jake. No I would appreciate. No kind regards. Just make logo more big.
And you understood exactly what he wanted?
In 3 seconds. I read it. I laughed. I made the logo bigger and redder. I sent it. Done. But here's what's been keeping me up at night, Sophie. This guy, he runs a company. He negotiates deals. He closes contracts in English. And his grammar is, honestly, I think my dog Buddy could write a better sentence.
That's mean, but also probably true.
But here's the thing that broke my brain. Nobody cares. Nobody in any meeting has ever said, "Sorry, could you conjugate that verb correctly before we sign this contract?" Nobody. They just listen to him. They respect him. Some of them are afraid of him, honestly.
Okay, so you're saying grammar doesn't matter.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying something weirder than that. Something I didn't understand until last Friday.
What happened last Friday?
I went to a dinner party, and something happened that I can't stop thinking about.
Oh no, did Buddy eat something off someone's plate again?
No. Well, yes, he ate a piece of salmon from the coffee table, but that's not the point. There was this woman at the party. I think she was from Turkey. Her English was messy. Wrong prepositions everywhere. She would say things like, "I am agree with you," and "he explained me the situation." Technically wrong. Both of those.
Both wrong, yeah.
But Sophie, everyone at that table was looking at her, laughing at her jokes, asking her questions. She was the most interesting person in the room, and her grammar was the worst in the room.
I mean, that's not surprising though. Some people are just magnetic. That's personality, not English.
Wait, let me finish, because there was someone else at that dinner, a guy. I think he was from... Actually, I'm not sure where he was from. His English was almost perfect, like textbook perfect, full sentences, correct tenses. He even used whom at one point.
He used whom at a dinner party?
At a dinner party, unironically.
Oh no.
And Sophie, nobody was listening to him. I watched it happen. He would start talking and people would their eyes would drift. They'd check their phone. They'd look at the salad. And his English was beautiful, technically perfect.
Okay, I think I know what happened there. And it's not about grammar at all.
Tell me, because I've been thinking about it for a week.
The woman from Turkey? She was being herself in messy, broken, weird English, but it was her. Her personality was in every sentence. When she said, "I am agree with you," you could hear her enthusiasm. When she told a story with wrong prepositions, you could feel the story. She wasn't translating, she wasn't performing, she was just being a person who happens to speak English imperfectly.
And the guy?
The guy was performing English. He wasn't talking, he was demonstrating that he studied.
Performing English, that's the thing I couldn't name. He was performing.
It's like, okay, this is gonna sound weird. You know when Mia, my cat, sits on the windowsill? She doesn't think about how to sit, she just sits. She's comfortable, she's herself. But when I take her to the vet, she becomes this stiff, weird version of herself. Every movement is calculated. She walks like a robot cat. Same cat, completely different energy.
You're comparing English learners to your cat at the vet.
I'm comparing English learners to my cat at the vet, and I stand by it, because that stiffness, that I'm being watched energy, that's what most learners bring to every English conversation. You become the vet version of yourself.
The vet version. I love that. You walk into a meeting and you become vet cat.
And there it is. And here's the problem. It's not your grammar that changes, it's your status.
Status. Okay, explain that.
When you perform English, when every sentence is careful and calculated, You look like you're asking for permission to be in the room. You look like you're apologizing for existing. And people feel that, not consciously, but they feel it, and they treat you differently.
But wait. I want to push back on this because isn't that unfair? Like, the guy at the dinner party knew more English. He worked harder. He studied more. And he gets ignored? That's not right.
It's not right, but it's real. And actually, Jake, I want to be honest about something.
What?
I don't fully agree with you about broken English being better. I think it's more complicated than that.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a colleague at my old job. She was brilliant, like genuinely one of the smartest people I've worked with. But in meetings, her English was really messy, and people didn't take her seriously. And that made me angry because she deserved to be heard.
So, broken English hurt her?
No, that's what I thought at first, but then I noticed something. It wasn't her grammar that was the problem. It was what she did before she spoke. Every single time, before every sentence, she would say, "Sorry for my English, but..."
Oh.
"Sorry for my English, but I think we should change the strategy." "Sorry for my English, but the numbers don't look right." She apologized before every single idea, every insight, every contribution. And that apology, that little "sorry for my English," it told the room, "Don't take what I'm about to say seriously. I'm not qualified to be here."
The apology did more damage than any grammar mistake.
Way more damage. I call it the sorry tax. Every time you apologize for your English, you pay a tax, a status tax, and people don't even realize they're collecting it, but they are. They hear "sorry for my English" and their brain goes, "Okay, this person is not confident. Maybe their idea isn't that strong either."
The sorry tax. That's dark.
It is dark. And the craziest part? I talked to her about it once after a meeting. I said, "You know you don't have to apologize every time, right?" And she looked at me like I was insane. She said, "But my English is bad." And I said, "Your English got you this job. Your English presents data to executives every week. Your English is fine. Your apology is the problem."
Did she stop?
Not immediately, but slowly. She started catching herself. And you know what happened? Nothing changed about her grammar, but everything changed about how people responded to her. 3 months later, she was leading the weekly stand-up. Same English, zero apology, different person in the room.
Same English, different status. And you know what the woman from Turkey at my dinner party never said?
She never apologized. Not once. She said, "I am agree with you," with the same energy that a CEO says, "The deal is closed." No apology, no hesitation, no "sorry, my English isn't perfect." Just, "Here's what I think. Take it or leave it."
And that's why people listened.
That's why people listened. It wasn't about grammar. It was about ownership. She owned her English, mistakes included. And that ownership, that "this is how I talk, deal with it" energy, that is status.
Okay, I just got chills. Genuinely, because I realized something about my client, the $2 million email guy. He has never, not once in 3 years, apologized for his English. He just writes, "Make logo more big," and hits send, like a king sending a decree.
Like a king sending a decree, yes. And you know what's funny? If he wrote, "I would kindly like to request that you please consider enlarging the logo and perhaps adjusting the color saturation toward a more vibrant red hue at your earliest convenience," you would respect him less.
I would think something is wrong. I would think he's being sarcastic, or that someone else wrote it.
Because it wouldn't sound like him. And that's the key to all of this. Your English, your version of English is not broken. It's yours.
Okay, but Sophie, I want to be practical for a second, because I can already hear people saying, "Great, I'll just stop apologizing and everything will be fine." But it's not that simple, right?
No, it's not, because the apology comes from somewhere real. It comes from fear, and you can't just tell fear to leave.
So what do you do? Like, honestly, not theory. What do you actually do? Because I've been there. You know this. When I started working with international clients, I used to prepare for calls for like 30 minutes, writing out every sentence I might need, like a script for a phone call, which is insane.
Wait, you prepared scripts for phone calls?
Full scripts. Hello, thank you for calling. I wanted to follow up on our previous conversation regarding the project timeline, and I had it all written down. And you know what happened?
What?
They would say something unexpected, like, "Hey Jake, how was your weekend?" And my script was useless. I had 3 pages of prepared sentences and no idea how to talk about my weekend.
Because you were preparing for a performance, not a conversation.
That's what it was, a performance. And one day I just stopped. I got on a call and I just talked. And my English wasn't perfect. I said more bigger at one point. I used make instead of do. I forgot the word for deadline and said the day when everything needs to be finished. And you know what?
The client didn't care.
The client laughed and said, "I love that. The day when everything needs to be finished. I'm gonna start using that." And suddenly I wasn't the guy with bad English. I was the guy with a funny way of saying things. And honestly, that's when things changed for me. That's when I stopped being vet cat.
Vet cat to windowsill cat. That should be on a t-shirt.
And honestly, that shift happened because I stopped trying to build every sentence from scratch. I started collecting phrases that felt natural to me, phrases that I could just grab and use without thinking. And a lot of those I actually got from our phrases guide, the one we put together, From Stuck to Fluent. I'm not even selling it right now, I'm just telling you, half of the phrases I use on client calls came from that guide. Things like, "Let me get back to you on that," or "That makes total sense," or "Here's what I'm thinking." They're like pre-built confidence. You don't have to construct anything, you just say them.
The link is in the description if anyone wants to check it out. But Jake's right. The point isn't learning more grammar. The point is having ready-made tools so your brain can relax and be you instead of performing.
Okay, but I want to go back to something. The sorry tax. Because I think there's another version of this that's even more invisible.
More invisible than apologizing?
Yeah, it's when you don't say sorry for my English, but your body says it. You speak quietly. You look down. You speak faster than normal, like you're trying to finish the sentence before someone catches your mistakes. You shrink.
Oh my God, I do this. I literally do this when I speak French. I went to Paris last year and I was ordering at a bakery and I realized I was whispering. Like, why am I whispering? I'm ordering a croissant, not confessing a crime.
Confessing a crime at the bakery.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I would like a pain au chocolat.
But that's real. Your body was paying the sorry tax without your mouth saying sorry.
And the woman behind the counter probably thought I was weird, not because my French was bad, because I was acting like my French was bad. I was vet cat in Paris.
Vet cat in Paris. That's the sequel.
I don't have broken English. I have my English.
One more time. Louder, like you mean it.
I don't have broken English. I have my English. And stop apologizing for it. Seriously. Starting today, the next time you want to say, "Sorry for my English," don't. Just say the thing, pay 0 sorry tax.
0 tax, free English.
Free English. I love that.
But, Sophie,
What? Why do you have that face?
because there's a problem, and it's a big one. You can stop apologizing, you can own your English, you can stop being vet cat. All of that is great. But there are specific phrases, 5 of them, that you're probably using every single day at work that silently destroy your status, and they have nothing to do with grammar or confidence.
5 phrases?
5 phrases that make you sound invisible in meetings, that make people forget you said anything. And the worst part is, you probably learned them from a textbook. Someone taught you these phrases thinking they were polite, and they are polite. But polite and powerful are not the same thing.
And you're going to tell us what they are right now.
Next episode, every single one of them, with what to say instead. It's on your screen, click it. Because once you hear these, you can't unhear them, and your next meeting will never be the same.